If you've ever wondered whether booking a makeup counter experience is actually worth the money, then this video is for you. I paid £55 last week for my makeup at Bobbi Brown in Selfridges in London. I got my foundation perfectly matched, I learned a few new techniques, and I walked out all ready for a night at the theatre. I'll spill the beans on what I loved, what wasn't so great, and the 5 products I bought on the day. My name's Julie, and today is a little bit different because I'm sharing my recent experience at the Bobbi Brown Makeup Counter in Selfridges in London. Now, I go to London a couple of times a year for a treat, and I really love building in one small extra treat that's just for me, and that's getting my makeup done properly. Now, most days I never wear much makeup other than maybe a touch of concealer around my eyes and a dash of lip gloss, and that's it. I'm good to go. But I do like to make a bit more of an effort if I'm going out. And so, because I'm no expert on makeup, I do love to have a makeover every now and again. So, full disclosure, I was a teenager in the 80s and I am by no means a makeup expert. I'm more of a skincare gal. So, everything in this video is just my personal opinion, specific to my experience on that day. Last week, instead of my usual Armani booking, I decided to try Bobbi Brown after reading a review from someone who said it was a really good choice for someone with more mature skin. So let me tell you all about my experience. I booked the Bobbi Brown signature look online a couple of weeks before my trip. It's actually costs at £55 at the time of recording, which is December 25, but you don't actually pay anything up front, and that cost is fully redeemable against any products that you buy on the day. Now, I always try to time these appointments in the afternoon before a night out so that my makeup is done, and then all I need to do is just get changed. So on this particular day, I had tickets to see Cabaret in the evening. So it was absolutely amazing. Fully recommend it, and it all worked perfectly. And one thing I love about Selfridges is the choice that they offer. So they've got loads of different brands there, and you can book with the individual brand makeup counters. So they've got Bobbi Brown, Armani, Charlotte Tilbury, Victoria Beckham, loads more. And you can also book a more general Selfridges makeover where they pick and choose from lots of different brands. Bobbi Brown also offer different makeup sessions. So they do a bridal, party ready, and they do shorter complimentary ones that you don't need to pay for. So if you just want a foundation match, you want your eyes done, you just want your brows done, they even do a session to make you look less tired. Now, so far, I've always booked specific brand counters, but I might go for the multi-brand option next time. Let me know if you've ever done that and how it was for you in the comments. Just a side note, lots of brands do have loads of how-to information on their websites, as well as virtual colour matching. So it's a great option if you're struggling to get out to one of the beauty counters. Try online. They also have virtual assistants now as well. So Bobbi Brown, quite new to me, and if you're not familiar with Bobbi Brown, the brand was founded by the New York makeup artist Bobbi Brown in 1991, and the philosophy was about enhancing natural beauty rather than covering it up. The focus is very much on great skin, wearable shades, and makeup that looks polished but not heavy, which is probably why it's often recommended for the more mature skin. And that was exactly the look I was after with my makeover. With Bobbi Brown, everything is designed to make you look like you, but just a fresher version, your best you. So the session started with a chat about my skin type. If you don't know yours, check out one of my other videos, I'll link it. And also what I was hoping to achieve from the session. Got more advice on that later on in the video. And as I don't wear much makeup generally, I wanted a natural look, but just a little bit stronger than the daytime makeup because I was planning to get dressed up for the theatre trip later on. And just to mention, actually, if you go in and you're already wearing your makeup, don't worry about it because they will cleanse your skin beforehand. So the first product they applied on the day was the Weightless Skin Foundation, which is this. It's a medium coverage, long wearing foundation. It does feel incredibly lightweight on the skin. And what I really liked is it doesn't sit in your fine lines and it doesn't look heavy, which can be a problem actually as our skin ages. So I think the foundation matching service alone made this appointment completely worth it for me. And getting the undertone right really makes a difference. And it's worth getting your foundation matched on a regular basis because my Armani foundation was matched in the summer and my skin was a few shades lighter when I had this experience in December. So the Armani product I also love is the Luminous Silk Foundation, which is that one. Still really like it actually. I just wanted to change this time round. So I don't know how they compare price wise. I don't know if you can see the difference. There's a very subtle difference in the shades between the two. So that was more of a summer shade and that's my winter shade. I do wear SPF and I don't go and sit in the sunshine for long periods of time. So there's not a massive difference in the foundation colour, but it definitely was a fantastic match, this foundation was. So I can really recommend that one. They also make this in about 50 shades, so there shouldn't be a problem for anybody finding their perfect match. And I am very, very lazy when it comes to makeup, but I have used this foundation a few times since I bought it. On a work day, I usually just mix a couple of pumps in with my SPF moisturiser. I might get some hate for doing that. I think it's fine as long as I don't skimp on the SPF and use the normal amount that I usually would to make sure I still get sufficient protection from my SPF moisturiser. Now, this foundation does contain SPF, but it's only 15, and that is nowhere near the recommended 30 plus that we should be using. Also, if we rely on SPF in makeup, we probably won't even achieve the SPF number it states on the container because we don't tend to apply enough product. So, top tip, always use a really good SPF underneath your foundation. So like I say, really loving it so far. It's a really good shade for me. Hasn't given me any breakouts either, which can be a concern with some foundations. So yeah, pretty happy with that. The next thing the lady did was to apply some concealer and powder. I actually felt this was all becoming a bit too heavy for me. And also, I do have my Armani concealer, which is the Luminous Silk one. They do that in loads of shades, and I love that for around the eyes. So I'm sticking with that one for now. If you do struggle with darkness around the eye area, like I do, please pop me any questions in the comments because I'm going to be making a video really soon about this topic. So your comments will really help me create content that's going to be very helpful for you too. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my new videos. I've got loads of exciting things planned for the new year. Okay, back to the makeover review. So after the base was done, she applied some bronzer and some blusher. Now, full disclosure, I am absolutely useless at applying bronzer and blusher. Don't really use bronzer at all. And I do sometimes watch my daughter, who is 29, apply her makeup, and the amount of contouring and highlighting she does is crazy. There is no way I will ever be doing all of that. But I do think blusher is pretty essential, especially if you're wearing foundation. I feel that foundation is great for evening out your skin tone, hiding any imperfections, but I think it can leave your face looking a bit flat. So blusher really does help give you some of that definition and cheekbones back. So I learned I was placing my blusher probably too far down my face, which isn't a good idea because we really want to achieve a lift, not a droop, especially at my age. So basically, top tip was she asked me to smile, and that helps identify where to place the blusher. So smile, little chip, and then go there up from the apple of your cheek on both sides. I do like to put a bit on my nose, a bit on my chin, a bit on the top of my head as well. Don't know why, I just do. Then we moved on to my eyes. So the next item that she used and I bought was the Long Wear brown pencil, and the shade was warm brown. So that is it. It gave a really natural brow colour. It wasn't harsh, wasn't blocky, it was really easy to control. And as brows thin with age, I think products like this are much more forgiving than powders or heavy pencils. So if you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll know that my eyebrows are pretty sparse. Now I've actually applied that pencil today, so they don't look too bad. And it was a combination of overplucking in my teens and then hypothyroidism in my 40s. And then I had my brows microbladed about 10 years ago, and then they faded and blurred, so I had them tattoo lasered off a couple of months ago. And then I'd fully intended to go back and have them microbladed on again, but I've kind of having second thoughts about that, so I'm not sure. So I have been experimenting with some makeup to fill my brows in. Now I don't do it very often because it does take me a while, and my eyebrows are pretty much hidden by my glasses. But I do feel that filling my brows in when I'm going for the makeup look does lift my face and kind of give me a more polished look. Now, before I went to Bobbi Brown, my daughter recommended Elf, which is a fantastic budget choice. And then I also bought this stencil, which I've found many years ago. And I've been looking for it like mad and finally found it again on Amazon, which I will pop a link into. It's Christian Faye, but I only bought that a couple of weeks ago. It's a powder, comes with a brush, a fluffy end and a sort of stiffer end, but with a bit of an angle on. And it also comes with these stencils. Now you can see I've used that one, which is a natural one. They do a thin one and they do a thick one. Takes a bit of practice, that I have to say. Powder's not for everybody, but they say it does stay on. And they also recommend, if you're not sure, it was a grey colour powder, but actually that should suit most skin tones and hair colours. If you're not sure and it's not too heavy, again, you can build it up. So that's another alternative. But I did sort of think, oh, I will treat myself to something else from Bobbi Brown. And I quite like it because I feel like you can build it up. It's quite subtle, that brow pencil, but you can build it up if you want a heavier look. So definitely worth a try. It's the Longwear brow pencil, and they recommended warm brown as the shade for me. So this is the one I've been playing with lately. Yeah, and I quite like it actually. It's better than the stencils. I think the stencils kind of look a little bit fake, but they might be helpful for some people. So the next item she used, and I did buy it, although I wasn't completely sure about this. It's the 24-hour eyeliner in black. So where is it? It is this one here. It's really soft and creamy when you apply it, but once it sets, it stays put. So it's great if you like a defined eye without worrying about smudging, especially if it's helpful if your eyes water a lot, you might be crying, or if they're a bit hooded like mine, and then you get it sticking to the upper lid as well, and you get a black mark there. Now, what I wasn't sure about was, and she did ask me about this in advance, and I did agree to it, she applied this product on my upper lid waterline. And to be honest, I wasn't thrilled with the effect. So we did, like I say, we discussed it, and because I'd never applied eyeliner in that way before, I agreed to give it a try. But I thought this made my eyes look smaller. And personally, I want my eyes to look bigger and lifted. So I didn't really like this look on me. I also wasn't convinced I'd be able to replicate that very well at home. It felt a little bit tricky. I wasn't sure how I'd be able to do it. And I thought it might wear off the waterline quite quickly, but she assured me it wouldn't, and actually it didn't. I'm not sure how you'd remove it from the waterline at night when you take all your makeup off. I definitely still had traces of it the next day. So it really did have staying power, but wasn't really sure about that. But I ended up buying it because I do like to apply a liner from the mid part of my upper eyelid to the outer part. And I think that really does help my eyes look bigger. and it's very soft, so it made it really easy to apply. It doesn't pull and it does stay put. So yeah, I'm quite glad that I bought that. It was quite a good purchase, I feel, in the end. Okay, next, eyeshadow. We didn't actually go crazy with this, and I sort of wished now that I'd been a little bit braver and asked for a more dramatic smoky eye effect for the evening. But we went more subtle, and I think actually this might be one of my favourite products. It's a little bit different to anything I've used before, and I think I will get a lot of use out of this. So the next item was the Long Wear Cream Shadow Stick in Toffee Matte shade. And I think it's perfect for everyday wear. Cream shadows are often a little bit easier on more mature lids. This one doesn't crease at all, doesn't settle, doesn't move around. Quick and easy to apply, really flattering, very forgiving. So it's great if you want a little bit of definition in the eye area, lighten it up, brighten it up, but with a natural look. I'm actually wearing this at the moment. I don't think you can probably tell, but it just has brightened up my entire eye area. And then finally, lips, and I did treat myself to the lip colour as well. It's the Colour Shine lipstick in Nude Heather. Really glossy, really hydrating formula, very comfortable to wear. Shade is one of those your lips but better colours, and it's a shade I really love and probably tend to buy anyway. As lips lose fullness with age, I find formulas like this are really quite flattering, much more flattering than very matte lipsticks. So here was the finished look. What do you think? Personally, I felt it was a bit too much. It felt a little bit overdone to me. It's quite different to what I'm used to. But I really did enjoy the experience. I love the products that I've bought. I'll just be using them in a slightly different way, in a way that I feel more comfortable with. So this is a picture of me when I've applied the products. So the experience took about 45 minutes altogether, and it helped me to buy some new products with confidence and enjoy a little bit of pampering and me time at the same time. So if you've ever been curious about booking a makeup counter experience, I hope my experience has helped. And let me know in the comments if you've tried Bobbi Brown, or if there's another counter that you would recommend for me next time I have a trip to London. I think my main advice would be to do some research beforehand about potential brands you'd like to try. Be really clear about the look you're hoping to achieve and communicate it early on at the beginning of the consultation. Maybe even take some photographs of the look that you're trying to achieve too. And if you enjoy beauty and midlife lifestyle content like this, please do like and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.